Alright, so before cleaning up the beard, you always want to make sure you're combing and picking the beard out, especially during these times with the mask, because beards tend to be matted to the face. So you want to make sure that you're always combing and picking it out. And now to start off the beard blend, we're going to go with our first guideline with our trimmer, and we're going to start at the bottom of the ear and just go straight across. And then we follow it up with the shaver to get it real close to the skin. And now we're going to go with our clipper all the way open. And this is going to be a pretty deep beard blend, meaning it's going to go into the beard a lot, right? So we're going to make this blend nice and stretched out. So we went about a full inch, and to start getting rid of that guideline, we're going to start closed, and then we're going to gradually open the lever until that line is blended out. And for me, I find it way easier to blend into the beard than to blend the head, just because the texture of the beard just feels a lot easier to blend. And now we're going to follow that up with our one guard all the way open, and we're going to make our second guideline. And we're combing as we do this, just so we can make sure we're blending into the beard as best as possible. And then I went ahead and closed up that lever just to lighten up that line slightly. And now to get rid of that faint line, we're going to grab our half guard all the way open, and we're just going to go into it using a lot of the corner of the blade, just because with the beard we're working in a very small area. It's not as how would you say, you know, there's not a lot of space to work with as if we were blending on the head. So we went in open with the half guard, and then we closed it as needed using the corner of the blade. And now just to detail any spots that we kind of couldn't get with the guards, we're gonna go with our blade, and we're just gonna open and close the lever and just tap at little dark spots that we see. And you can see as we do this, it's already starting to blend into the beard very nicely. And now to kind of blend into the bulk of the beard, this will be the biggest guard that we use. And we're not really making a guideline with this, we're kind of just tapping at that line, and it'll start to blend into the length. So we're going in with the 2 guard all the way open, and now we're gonna go with the grain just to smooth it out a little bit. And now we're gonna grab our 1.5, so we're going back down in guard size, and we're just gonna go ahead and get rid of some more of that line that the 2 guard couldn't get. And you can see already that this beard blend is coming out very nice. It also helps when the client has a really thick beard already, right? If they have a real thin and spacey beard that's patchy, you probably don't want to do a blend like this, because it's gonna make their beard look not as full, right? And we're just gonna go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. So we went in with our trimmer, we made our bald line right at the bottom of the ear, and then we're going in with the clipper open, and then we're gonna go in closed at that line, and then open it gradually as needed. And now we're just gonna go ahead and follow that up with our 1 guard open. And then to lighten up that line between the 1 guard open and the open, we went ahead and closed that lever slightly. And now we're gonna follow it up with the half guard, because there still is a slight faint line. And then we're gonna go with our 2 guard all the way open, and we're just tapping at that line, right? Because we're trying to blend into the length of his beard as best as possible. And then we're going to smooth it out by going with the grain. And now we're going to follow that up with the 1.5, and this is what's going to bring that blend all the way together. Want to make sure you're constantly combing the beard. Alright, and for the mustache, I don't want to make it too much lighter than the beard on his face, because I want it to look as full as possible, right? I want everything to work together. So I'm going with my 1 guard closed with the grain. I'm going downwards on the mustache. And now we're just going to go ahead and line up the bottom of his mustache. And with the bottom of the mustache, you just want to tap where the top of his lip is at, right? Because you don't want to take that too high above his lip to where it looks weird. So we're just tapping at that line, getting it off of his lip. You can always stretch the skin, especially when you get towards the corner of the lip. And we're just gonna go ahead and clean that area up, and now we're gonna line up the top of it by going with downwards. So I just went ahead and flipped my trimmer. I'm just trying to get rid of those stubs as best as possible because we are gonna follow it up with the razor. And sorry for the autofocus, it's trash. I'm still trying to figure out how to work the camera, you know, to the best of my ability. And now we're just gonna line up the other side of the mustache. And it already low-key looks lined up because he lines up his beard pretty often on his own, and he does a pretty good job. But we're just gonna go ahead and clean it up for him. And this used to be the scariest part of lining up the mustache, is doing the top, because I was scared I was gonna make it too thin. But be confident in your ability, right? And just line that joint up. Don't be scared. And now we're gonna line up the bottom and back of the beard. And you wanna make sure that when you're lining up that part of the beard that I just did, that you're keeping it as natural as possible and that you're not pushing it in to where when it does grow back, it looks weird, right? So you wanna make sure you're lining it up at its natural spot. So we went ahead and cleaned up his neck a little bit. And you can see the blend really starts to come together because the line kind of acts as the framework to that beard blend that we did right there. So now we're gonna follow it up with the shaver just to get it closer to the skin. Alright, so to prepare for the lining or the shave, we're gonna go ahead and apply some shave gel to the top of the beard and around his mustache area, and then in that little line up area below his lip, the little round area. And now we're gonna go ahead and grab a warm hot towel. Try to cool it down a little bit before you put it on his face because you don't want to burn him, you know what I'm saying? But now we're gonna go ahead and put it over his face. And while I'm doing it, I'm asking him if it's okay. So I went ahead, obviously you don't want to cover up the nose, so we went on his lip, and we're gonna put it over his eyes just so it's nice and relaxing. And then we're gonna go ahead and press it to his face just so we can go ahead and open up those pores and get it ready for the line. And now I'm gonna grab my hand massager, and what this is gonna do is just relax the hair follicles, relax his skin, so we can have a nice, clean, comfortable shave when I come in with the razor. And this is just that next level experience that not every barber is gonna provide, right? This type of service is what's gonna separate you from everyone else. Because I could have easily just went ahead and lined him up with the razor and sent him on his way. But it's all about the preparation, it's all about the experience that you provide for the customer, and making sure that they feel like money when they're in your chair. Alright, so now we're gonna go ahead and take off the towel, and as you can see, his face is nice and you know, relaxed. His skin and his pores are open. So when I come in with this razor, it's a nice clean shave that's comfortable and that won't cause any irritation, especially for this client because his hair is really thick, especially in his mustache area. And you'll see even after I line it up, he has that slight shadow, and that's because his hair is so dense and thick that even when it's to the skin, you can see where the hair was at. So with the beard, you want to start at the top of the beard and then go to the bottom and connect it in the middle, and that is how you will get that nice round shape. So that's what I'm doing right here. And with the mustache, I just lined up every area that I took down with the trimmer, and I just went ahead and lined that up. You want to make sure that you're stretching their skin so you do not cut them. And you want to make sure that you wipe away that first initial line that shows up when you line it up with the razor, so you can make sure that you're giving them the sharpest line possible. So I'm going to go ahead again with the razor and just clean up that line, sharpen it up a little bit more. And I'm pulling up with my thumb on his cheek so I get that nice stretch so I won't cut into his skin. And now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So I went ahead and asked him to blow a bubble just so I can get into that area right there without cutting. Alright, and this is before I add any enhancements. It's naturally pretty sharp, but he wants to go ahead and you know, make it a lot more like pop a lot more, and he asked for enhancements. So I went ahead and grabbed my Elegance semi-permanent hair color, and I went ahead and grabbed my dip brush, and I'm just applying it directly at the line that I created with my razor. And you can see when we put it on there, it just takes it to a whole nother level and makes that blend really pop. And you want to make sure that you add it to the back of the beard as well, just so it looks a lot more balanced. And you want to go ahead and brush that in. And now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. And I think the darkness of his beard going into the white hair on his chin area just looks really dope. So I'm going to go ahead and apply that on the line. Go ahead and brush it in. So as you can see, my man came in looking rough. He needed a nice lineup and beard blend, so we went ahead and put him in the game. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section. I think it came out dope. Let me know if you think it came out dope. But family, subscribe to my channel. Make sure you follow me at Drake Clipperhands to stay tuned to my journey. I have a lot more dope content on there. But yeah, thank you for watching my video. Catch y'all next time.